Pope St. John Paul II used the term often, the culture of death. And today, for all of the many good things being done in Catholic hospitals, parts of the Catholic healthcare system are falling into what many people would call the clutches of evil. Most noticeably, referring mothers with difficult pregnancies to abort their babies. Transgender clinics, ostensibly prescribing treatments like puberty blockers, even performing mutilating transgender surgeries.
And we went to St. Mary's, we did the ultrasound. They said it was my best option to terminate the pregnancy. And then with them being Catholic, I didn't think they were supposed to even refer to the option.
Sad to say, I'm not surprised to hear that officials at Catholic hospitals would refer women for abortions, even late-term abortions. It would seem that a Catholic hospital would be horrified by this.
Basically, they're saying, we won't kill you. We have this, Catholic thing, but here's someone else who will kill this baby. That is cooperation, but it's formal cooperation, I think.
We're very concerned that a Catholic hospital would be operating a transgender medicine clinic because it gives what we Catholics call scandal.
This doesn't just kill a baby, it ruins your life. You'll never think the same way again. You kill a little unborn baby, your own child.
John Ryan is a sidewalk counselor. On this Saturday morning, like every Saturday morning of the year, he is working outside the Hope Clinic for Women in Granite City, Illinois. In reality, this clinic is an abortion mill.
And ask yourself, how could you kill your own child? What's going on here? We can't do this.
And he is working to rescue the babies whose lives are about to end, hoping to touch the minds and hearts of the mothers and fathers who have come here to abort their babies, praying they will change their minds and allow their babies to live.
Let's figure out a plan. But abortion is your plan?
By all accounts, John Ryan is loud, sometimes boisterous, always passionate.
Crushing her skull to make a white abortionist rich?
First and foremost, I always think of myself as being there as the voice for the unborn, the victim that can't speak for themselves.
How about it, Mom? I know you're in a hurry to get it over with, but abortion never ends. Lots of moms have changed their minds. It's not too late.
I work on keeping myself mindful of what's going on. We know what abortion is. We know what happens, but we can be fooled by the atmosphere as well. It appears to be people pulling up in a parking lot, getting out and walking into a building. This is not just another building. This is not just another day. And the passionate part of it comes from recognizing that there's a human being depending upon me in that moment to say and do the right thing.
Ma'am, please, don't go in there.
It's a war zone there.
Because in reality, this clinic is all about killing, where because of the choice of the mother, and many times the father, innocent, preborn children are being slaughtered, pulled apart, limb by limb, their skulls crushed. John Ryan calls the Hope Clinic hopeless. Because once the mother and her baby go inside, hope for the child is all but gone. Only one of them will be coming out alive.
It's heartbreaking. It angers me that abortionists are doing what they're doing in that building.
The time on the sidewalk outside the clinic can be dangerous. Tensions at time can explode. When he started receiving threats and being falsely accused of harassment and trespassing, to protect himself, he began wearing a camera to record any hostile encounters.
Do you know how loud abortion is, man? It'll be with you the rest of your life.
He bum rushed me, and then as he hits me, he stops. He hits me.
Christy, you go to jail. You go to jail. You go to jail.
I'm not touching you.
No, you got a camera right here, buddy. You see that?
Stop.
Yes,
Don't
you
stop.
are, right there.
Right there. I don't want you
feeling
to
this
feel
way.
I've had a knife pulled on me. I've had a rifle, a loaded rifle, pulled on me and pointed at me. The F word, I've heard it so many times. The flipping me the bird, it's like those things, not a problem.
Knees and pray. Yeah, thank you for doing that. God bless you. But you knew not to punish your child for that reprobate, right?
The Illinois Clinic is located less than 10 miles from downtown St. Louis and the world-famous Gateway Arch. In Illinois, abortion is still legal. Because a good number of surrounding states have outlawed it, people are driving here from Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Indiana, Ohio, and some from as far away as Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas.
That's a long ride from Tennessee, man.
Some are referred here by private practice doctors, family clinics, and hospitals. And lately, what seems to be a steady number of Catholic hospitals. For John Ryan, a shocking discovery.
You know it's a baby, right? Well, all of us know that.
A few years ago, I was doing sidewalk counseling, and a mom came. She was showing, as I say, they 24 weeks. So, and she, in the course of the brief conversation we had, she said the baby had issues, and she was sent there. And I said, well, what? You know, who sent you here? She goes, St. Mary's. St. Mary's in St. Louis? Yes. They said that this is what I had to do or what I needed to do. And I tell you, I was just flabbergasted.
St. Mary's, it turns out, was not the only Catholic hospital making the abortion referrals.
Can I ask who sent you here? Did you guys go to a specialist or anything? Where'd you guys go? St. Mary's? Over in St. Louis and on Clayton there? St. Mary's Hospital. Where? In St. Louis? And they told you what? No, but they told you to come here. Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
Does she have a doctor, or is she just doing this on her own? Where did she go?
Mercy in Washington.
Mercy in Washington, and they told you? Yeah.
Oh, Mercy. We went to the big Mercy off of.
Mercy. I know where you mean, Ballas and
Dallas,
40.
Dallas.
You went to a doctor and they said that. Where'd you go?
And I live at St. Elizabeth's up there in O'Fallon.
In
Like you wanna
O'Fallon,
try-
Illinois.
And they broke it down to me. They gave me an ultrasound.
It was just very disheartening to have a Catholic hospital send someone over to the abortion mill to have an abortion.
Angela Michael spends 4 to 5 days a week with her mobile van parked outside this clinic and a Planned Parenthood clinic a few miles away in Fairview Heights. Her van is equipped with an ultrasound imaging system. In her almost 30 years of reaching out to abortion-minded women at the clinics, she estimates her efforts have saved more than 6,000 babies.
Ma'am, can we help you over there in the medical unit? We do free testing. How about adoption? That's a loving option.
And at Hope Clinic now, you can kill them up until 9 months. And if I could bring the girls over to the van, I could show them their babies and at least let them hear that baby's heartbeat, we could save that baby and we could find homes that would adopt.
How's that baby girl doing?
She's doing all right, thank you.
Good. You ever need anything, I gave you, call me. Okay. All right, you're welcome.
To date, John, Angela, and the other sidewalk counselors have documented more than 24 abortion referrals from Catholic hospitals in the St. Louis area, including Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital.
Where did you go? Where did they tell you that? See if you can get them to tell you.
Where'd you go? What hospital?
Yeah, who?
Cardinal Glennon.
They sent you here?
That's where we were for our last two babies, too.
Wow. What's going on? Because I got a high-risk specialist who'll take care of you and the baby. Cardinal.
I'm extremely high risk. My body can't handle the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Third case because they didn't tie tubes when they were supposed to.
Where were they going to do that? Because they can't do that at Cardinal Glennon.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's was going to tie your tubes. Wow.
Most of the referrals are made to mothers facing difficult pregnancies, where the prognosis for the baby's survival is not good.
I've had at least 4 instances recently where I have intercepted girls that are coming or been sent there by physicians at these Catholic hospitals. Cardinal Glennon, which I was really surprised, And they said that there was maternal problems, I believe was their excuse of sending her in there. Plus, St. Mary's is a big one.
St. Mary's Hospital is part of SSM Health, a century-old Catholic healthcare system headquartered in St. Louis. The system operates several dozen hospitals and clinics in 4 states: Missouri, Illinois, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin. SSM stands for Sisters of St. Mary. Its history is long and storied. Known for its exceptional health care and God-centered mission. That reputation is why so many people are shocked that anyone connected to SSM is telling mothers they need to abort their babies. Case in point, the story of Abriana Moore, a teenager with an unplanned pregnancy, alone and frightened, not knowing what to do or where to go for help. Barnes Jewish Hospital, on the west side of St. Louis, diagnosed her baby with anencephaly, a condition where the baby's head and brain are not fully developed. It is a rare, always fatal birth defect. Most babies born with it die within a few hours. The recommendation from Barnes Jewish was to abort the baby. Abriana, along with her boyfriend, the father of the baby, were sent to the Hope Clinic in Granite City. In fact, the hospital paid for her Uber ride across the river. Reluctantly, she went.
And when I was going to the abortion mill, like, I didn't really want to go do it, and because they kept telling me that the baby wasn't alive, but if it's not alive, how is it still moving?
Once there, outside the clinic, Abriana met John Ryan.
They came over on the sidewalk, we talked, and they decided they weren't going to do it, and they'd take our help, and which was a wonderful thing.
So on the spot, John called a pro-life doctor he knew, who sent them to St. Mary's and its fetal and maternal care department. Their treatment solution for Abriana and her unborn baby was abortion. They referred her back to the clinic in Granite City.
I get a call at work, and Abriana is furious. Why did you send us here? What do you? They tried to send us. They told us to go back to the abortion mill.
The lady, she did the ultrasound and everything. They said the same thing. Best thing for me to do is terminate the pregnancy. And then what we was explaining to them, we came here because we didn't want to terminate the pregnancy. And it was just like, basically they kept telling me my best thing to do was terminate it.
One lady chased her down the hallway, followed her down the hallway out on the way out of the building, saying, "No, you really need to do this. This is what's best." I mean, it's horrific.
Some question Abriana's story. Was she telling the truth? To answer the skeptics, she took a lie detector test.
To prove that I'm not lying, that I'm telling the truth, this actually happened to me.
And the results?
I passed it.
Abortion is a grave moral evil. The world doesn't have any idea what you mean by a grave moral evil. It is the, premeditated, cold-blooded killing of an innocent human being.
Catholic ethicists agree that for a Catholic hospital and anyone associated with one to make a referral for a woman to abort her baby is what is called formal cooperation in evil. Franciscan University of Steubenville is a Catholic university in Steubenville, Ohio. Its Center of Bioethics is highly respected. Dr. Patrick Lee is the director.
Catholic teaching is consistent. This is a human person, so we have to treat this as a human person, which means that we don't kill it. When a pregnant woman goes into the hospital, whatever hospital it is, there are 2 patients there, the mother and the baby, and the doctor, if the doctor is acting ethically and in accordance with his or her profession, should do all that he or she can do to save both.
Catholic hospitals, if they want to identify themselves as Catholic, are obligated to adhere to the ethical and religious directives for Catholic healthcare services. This document, produced by the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, lays out what Catholic hospitals can and cannot do. It clearly states, Catholic healthcare organizations are not permitted to engage in immediate material cooperation in actions that are intrinsically immoral, such as abortion, euthanasia, assisted suicide, and direct sterilization.
They are supposed to be quite binding on the hospital itself, that they should not be doing things that are contrary to Catholic teaching in a Catholic hospital.
Dr. David Stansfield, a family practice physician in Hillsborough, Missouri, is the president of the St. Louis Guild of the Catholic Medical Association. With the number of abortion referrals, he questions if SSM is truly following the directives.
Then they will be cooperating formally with the abortion referral, ethically at least, in their silence. And so that sin of omission, if you will, that not doing anything about the abortion referrals that are going forward is problematic.
It's worse in a Catholic hospital because they should know better, and they have an additional duty to be a witness to the gospel and a witness to Catholic teaching. And so there's an additional kind of compounding evil there.
The formal cooperation is their aiding and abetting that and not doing anything about it going forward.
We won't kill this baby. Here's someone else who will kill this baby. That is cooperation, but it's formal cooperation, I think. Part of their mission is to bear witness to the truth of the gospel, to bear witness to the truth of Catholic teaching.
SSM health officials did not respond to questions about these recent stories of abortion referrals, but in the past have said that as a Catholic healthcare system, their hospitals do follow the ethical and religious directives. The SSM website says this: as a Catholic organization, SSM Health operates in alignment with the ethical and religious directives for Catholic healthcare services.
So the tradition of the Catholic hospital is being horrifically violated today by so many of those who are responsible for these institutions. But so many are guided more by secular values, by fear of being rejected by the dominant culture, the narrative of the day, and they cave in.
Eric Scheidler is the executive director of the Pro-Life Action League, located in Aurora, Illinois, just west of Chicago, a group dedicated to saving unborn children and ending abortion through nonviolent, direct action.
Over the last 50 years of legal abortion in the United States, we have sanitized abortion. The magical thinking of those who support abortion, and of so many of the women seeking abortion, is that abortion makes you unpregnant. It's like a reset button. It's like a video game where you didn't make it past the particular obstacle and you press the reset button and start over. You can do that in a video game. You can't do that in real life. The only way to end the pregnancy is to end the child. And the only way to end the child is through violence.
The scourge of abortion is often linked to the scourge of slavery. Abortion is still legal in some states. At one point, slavery was also legal in some states. It was Dred Scott and his wife Harriet who challenged the notion that slaves were property and had no rights to be free. That court case was first tried here in this courthouse in downtown St. Louis. The case ultimately went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where in 1857, the nation's highest court ruled against the Scots. They were deemed to be property, a decision which played a major role in the nation's Civil War. Most would agree today that slavery being legal didn't make it right. Many wonder if abortion being legal makes it right.
In the case of both abortion and slavery, there's a dehumanizing of an entire class of human beings.
So there are so many arguments, I think, that the similar. I mean, okay, well, they're not really persons. They're not really, they're not really equal. I mean, the basic reason why slavery is wrong is that every human being has an equal inherent dignity in virtue of being a human being. And it's his human nature that gives him this equal rights.
But still, it was sort of an overall dehumanizing of African Americans at that time. When it comes to the unborn child, it's not all unborn children who've been dehumanized. It's only the ones who are unwanted.
Embryology as a part of biology shows, without a doubt, that these are human beings growing within the womb. They're not, not cats or dogs or cabbages or something. They have a human nature. They have what it takes to have equal basic rights.
So there is a similarity, classifying a whole group of human beings as unworthy of protection by the law. But in the case of abortion, it's a little more sinister, I think, because we pick and choose in this sort of arbitrary way. If you're wanted, you're a human being. If you're unwanted, you're a blob of tissue.
The issue of abortion referrals from Catholic hospitals now seems to be part of that proverbial slippery slope. As part of its network of hospitals and clinics, SSM Health operates hospitals in 4 states, including Wisconsin. This is St. Mary's Hospital in Madison. The evidence from informed sources who don't want to be identified for fear that they might lose their jobs strongly suggests doctors here are offering transgender counseling services, even performing transgender surgeries, doing what are called top surgeries, where mastectomies are being performed on women, and bottom surgeries, where genitalia are surgically altered to give the appearance that women can be men and men can be women, all part of what is called gender reassignment.
It doesn't change the sex of the person. It mutilates them and then and gives them the kind of the appearance or sometimes the sensation of being of the opposite sex, but doesn't change them from one sex into the other. It's a cosmetic.
We're seeing more and more clients showing up at Planned Parenthood facilities for hormone treatments. We're seeing Planned Parenthood more and more aggressively talk about this. They don't talk about women, they talk about pregnant people. But we certainly are seeing a move towards that issue, as sort of a convergence of the transgender issue and the abortion issue.
St. Louis University has now started a transgender health collaborative and what it calls the Queer and Trans Wellness Clinic.
The whole transgender thing comes into conflict with the Catholic teaching in that we are created by God. So to suggest that God made a mistake is what this whole transgender ideology is, that there can be an improvement on my feeling of this cross-gender issues, is that God made a mistake.
If a Catholic hospital wants to identify as a Catholic hospital, then following the ethical and religious directives is imperative. While each hospital has its own respective leadership teams, in a Catholic hospital, the bishop of the respective diocese has the ultimate responsibility to ensure each Catholic hospital is in fact Catholic. In reaching out to get their side of the story, SSM Health did not return phone calls. Neither the Bishop of Madison, Donald Hying, nor his communications department answered any emails. They also did not return any phone calls. In the Archdiocese of St. Louis, Archbishop Mitchell Rosansky did not want to comment publicly. Reportedly, he is said to be aware of what's going on and in communication with SSM leadership. The communications department sent a short text message that said simply the Archbishop was not interested in doing an interview for this program. But what appears to be happening with SSM Health and its attempts to thwart the ethical and religious directives is not the first time this has happened. In 2017, Then Archbishop Robert Carlson faced a similar situation at SSM's Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. The hospital wanted to open a transgender clinic for children.
We got wind of that happening and spoke with the Archbishop, wrote the Archbishop a letter, and worked with him over the winter and spring of 2017 about our issues with how that would give scandal to the public at large. Well, fortunately, Archbishop Carlson, he confronted he wrote some letters and went to the board and said that this goes against Catholic teaching on a lot of different ways, and had the board shut down the clinic. And also, because of that, you will either follow the ethical and religious directives and not have transgender medicine on the Cardinal Glennon campus, or you won't be Catholic anymore. It really was that red line. They shut down the clinic, and we haven't heard from it anything about that since, until just recently. Just in the last few months, was told that there's a transgender medicine clinic at St. Louis University as an SSM hospital. So we're very concerned that a Catholic hospital would be operating a transgender medicine clinic because it gives what we Catholics call scandal, which means it's a sin to give scandal because it gives permission for others to do the same. And so if we, in a Catholic institution, allow a transgender clinic to go forward, we're giving permission tacitly to all of the faithful in the pews that transgender medicine isn't as bad as they thought, that it is supported by the Catholic Church, where it is not.
Calvary Cemetery in the Archdiocese of St. Louis is the largest in the state of Missouri and dates back to the Civil War. One small section, called the Garden of Innocence, has been dedicated to the burial of babies who died as a result of a miscarriage or lived only a few weeks or months. One grave marks the remains of 13 aborted babies found in trash bags at a local abortion clinic. Catholic Church teaching is clear about the sanctity and dignity of life. All life should be reverenced from conception to natural death. For Abriana Moore, her baby was born a few weeks prematurely. She named her Kalia Marie. Hers was a short life, in fact, only a few hours, but her death was a natural one. Abriana was able to hold her. A priest was able to baptize her, and she was buried at Calvary Cemetery. The death of baby Kalia Marie was so unlike the sudden, violent deaths of the aborted babies at the Granite City abortion mill, torn apart and ripped from the wombs of their mothers. Part of the horror of the killing is that some of the baby body parts are shipped from the clinic in boxes marked human specimens, and most likely sent to research labs somewhere in the Midwest. Other body parts are packed in larger boxes and trucked to what are called burn pits, where the remains are incinerated. A far cry from the death and burial of baby Kalia Marie. Maybe somewhat ironically, her gravesite sits a short distance away from the graves of Dred and Harriet Scott, a reminder that no matter how long or how difficult, life is a gift and creation of God, still precious and full of awe and wonder. Someone once said, "In the fight between good and evil, the good will always win out. But it will take courage, perseverance, patience, and time. Meantime, for the John Ryans and the Angela Michaels of the world, the battle on the sidewalk continues, all with one goal in mind: save the unborn.
Come on, Tennessee, you got to do better than this. Man, what do you need from us? You drove 5 hours, and man, the ride back, longer than that. It's the rest of your life. It's not too late.